The Pacific Coast is known for its beautiful sights, sounds, and weather. We're here on a great night in San Diego midway through the season. Playoff implications on the line. The San Francisco Flamethrowers travel to meet their rival, the San Diego Growlers. It's the AUDL Game of the Week on ESPN. Welcome to San Diego, Balboa Stadium, here on a great night for Ultimate. The Flamethrowers travel to face the Growlers, a rematch of last week's action. Great Ultimate here today. Welcome back here to San Diego, Balboa Stadium, the former home of the San Diego Chargers. I'm Brian Jones with Megan Tormey. Just before the opening poll, with the Growlers set to receive. Excited for this game, Megan, with all the playoff implications abound. We're just midway through the season. What do you expect the keys of the game to be for San Francisco to overcome their latest defeat, which was 21-18 at the hands of the Growlers?
It's so exciting that we get to see this rematch just a week after they played one another, and the Growlers had that epic win against the Flamethrowers. Talking with head coach Joshua Greeno before the game, he said the Flamethrowers have to simplify their offense. It looked like they were flustered a bit by the defense that the Growlers were putting on, namely a zone defense that they just weren't quite prepared for. So they're looking to take it back a step, simplify to see what they can do on offense to work just a little bit better.
And on the other side, we've seen San Diego gain some chemistry as Mickle puts a huck early. Launched in the air and caught for the goal. Trevor Purdy comes down with that one. The big frame out of Turlock, California, puts the Growlers up 1-0 right away.
And Mickle coming right out to show why he is the player we chose to highlight at the beginning of this game. A big huck, perhaps a little bit floaty, but not so floaty that Trevor Purdy couldn't pull it down. So that is the big difference for the Growlers so far this season. I spoke with Kurt Gibson before the game, and he said they just started to improve their chemistry. They spent some time together, and they started to learn what each other was capable of, and that's how that kind of play can connect so early in the game now that these players have really learned one another.
6'6", 185 pounds, Purdy. See, reel it in, actually got the chance to play in Denmark in the past for a team called Ragnarok. Gibson known for his hucking ability. Starts things off from underneath. And we've seen him on other teams have this nature to try to get the disc every other throw. Purdy getting it off, just made a great sky earlier in the game. Floats one up and back to San Francisco. Jeffrey, quick hitch to the end zone in the score. Henry Conker for the Flamethrowers. Puts another one on the stat sheet.
And Jeffrey with an amazing run through D. That is one of those lessons you learn early in Ultimate. Run to the disc. The Growlers slowed just enough for Jeffrey to make a quick from behind grab for that disc.
I mean, Megan, it seems early on here we're just seeing more intensity and more focus from these Flamethrowers. They look ready to go early on. And do you think that it's just been a tactical adjustment, or is it a mindset that they're just bringing here today?
Well, as I said, I talked with Joshua Greeno, the head coach from the Flamethrowers, before the game, and he didn't seem to imply that they had made a large number of changes, just that they were trying to work a little more simply on offense. But they are coming out with a very hungry attitude, so I have to think this is primarily mental. They know, as you said, that they're standing on the outside looking in terms of the playoff opportunities. There are large stakes on this game.
This is centered to Jeffrey. Jeffrey putting it deep for Conker. Conker, no problem. Fine. And then Fine, trying to go around. Lance on the doorstep. Sugioka. Leahy. Quick dish. San Francisco goes up within 2.
Kudos to San Francisco that point. They seemed completely unfazed by the defensive intensity that San Diego was coming out with. There was a quick double team. They were making fast adjustments. They were really trying to push San Francisco away from the end zone and shut down any opportunities. But San Francisco across the board did a great job of maintaining composure, looking for those open lanes. And of course, it all started with this beautiful backhand huck that is characteristic of San Francisco. Well timed so that the player can easily run onto it with a defender on his back.
They get it back to Leahy and work it around. And just like that, the crowd is a little bit quieter. The flamethrower is extinguishing maybe some early second half hopes. Leggio will take it for the Growlers. Greasy finding Gibson. Gibson's such a dynamic thrower. You can see Fine just reacting to the marks, and a great poach by Marliov comes in and disrupts the situation. Excuse me, that was Clay Miller. Actually played with Marliov on the Polar Bears. Sugioka to the end zone to Jeffrey. Jeffrey making plays all over the place, this time with his legs in the end zone. And we get to see a bit of the secret handshake with Lucas Dahlman. Megan, you have one of those on when you get to play in the club circuit with Nemesis?
I don't have a secret celebration, but one of my teammates, Amelia Garcia, and I do have our own handshake. Amelia has a unique handshake for every player on the team.
Wow. Every player.
Every single player.
I mean, I could go as far as getting a separate ringtone for everybody in my phone, but I don't know about a separate handshake.
I'm sure Amelia would be more than happy to make a special handshake just for you, Brian.
Amelia, we're going to have to meet up sometime.
She still has one with Kelly, our replay op.
Kelly Johnson doing
affectionately known as Vegas, my former teammate.
The crowd getting back into it, and can really just be a lot of fun for these players that are playing first-year pro, and Mickles talked about that. San Francisco tries to work it back and forth. Leahy.
And San Diego answering back at this point with the kind of defensive pressure that's making it difficult to move the disc. And just as I say that, the flamethrowers fire away. Another beautifully placed long put makes it easy for the flamethrower to pull it down. Even when there was close contention, which we don't often see with their long puts.
San Francisco able to work it through and get the eventual goal to Patrick Leahy. Leahy started things off, though, with a beautiful box out of Nick Lance, who was trailing on the opposite shoulder. And that extends the lead to 4 here for San Francisco as we take a look at the replay. We see Leahy take off Lance, but Leahy does such a wonderful job of just not allowing Lance to get around him. And eventually they're able to work it down for the easy goal. Only a few moments left. 27-25. We'll see if this one stands or if we'll get a last-second goal. 1 second to go, puts it up. Behind the play, and it's gonna end that way. It's Sermani with the grab and the block. This one will end with San Francisco taking it 27-25. Take a look here. Goodman puts it deep. So that will put San Diego at 3-6. They're still in the hunt here, especially with 5 games left with the bottom of the division. San Francisco will have a little bit of a tougher road, but they improved to 3-4, getting set for this playoff chase to begin in the second half of the season. So that will be a final score, and just great one here today. Started off in the first quarter. Flamethrowers got out to a 4-1 lead. They're able to go ahead and avenge their loss